Hello and welcome! Today we're doing another video to test for crackling. The while the warships in the background is completely incidental. It's just some average Yamato match that I had on the map Shatter. So, I'm heading towards the sea cap because that is where I spawned, and we see the enemy Yamato 25 kilometers away. So of course I open fire because he's, showing broadside, which means that I'm going to citadel him, right? Right? Isn't that how it works? You show broadside and then you get punished for it, right? Well, no, not really at this range. That would be very silly. I did hit him with one shell, but it was unfortunately just an over-penetration. But that's okay. By the way, this is the old version of Shatter. It looks quite different nowadays, just in case you didn't know. I don't quite understand how you wouldn't know, but I actually didn't like the changes. Like, one of the reasons why I don't like Shatter is because of the big islands in the middle. And how did Wargaming change Shatter? Well, they removed the small islands and put more big islands instead of them. I feel like they made the map even worse. But I guess maybe it does work better, I don't know. Or maybe I just haven't played the map enough, or the new incarnation of the map enough. So I don't really want to go into the sea cap because, well, there is nobody in front of me. And no ally in front of me, which, means that if I go in there, I'm just going to have a very, very, very bad time. We only have one destroyer, and it's a Kagero. The enemy team has two of them, and one of them is right here, a Fubuki. The other one is at the A cap. By the way, I'm using these modules and commander skills, so unfortunately I do not have... what's it called? What's the tier 5 skill called that gives you... Oh, manual secondaries, right. I don't have that skill. So, essentially I'm fighting with this enemy Yamato. I'm like... I don't want to fight at this kind of range, but she's running away and there's very little I can do. Unless I want to go head-on fight against a Fubuki, which probably wouldn't go very well for me. I mean, it would probably go well, but I would, die or take a lot of the damage. And I feel that that's quite not worth it as a Yamato against a Fubuki. I am gonna try to cap C though. The reason why my ship is pointed the way it currently is, and actually is, potentially going to run aground, is because I wanted to make sure that if the Fubuki torpedoed, then I would have been able to turn away, but at this point I already know that, the Fubuki didn't torpedo me, considering what the hell are those torpedoes are aimed at the island. Nice torping, Fubuki, nice torping. Those are some really excellent torpedoes. Look at this torpedo beat. Look, those torps are exactly on point, and I'm showing full broadside, and I managed to evade all of them. Insane torpedo beat skills right here, right? And for some reason the Fubuki isn't even contesting the cap zone. So I guess it's free sea cap. Oh, relatively free, I guess. I still had to, potentially run into Fubuki's torpedoes. And by the way, look at the minimap. Look at G1. That's our only destroyer in the game. Instead of capping, the Kagero goes and starts hunting the carrier or something at tier 10. Like, it's a tier 10 carrier. So, essentially, my prediction is that the Kagero just dies and, well, doesn't really do anything. That's a really bad thing though, because we really wanted that Kagero to go around capping stuff since, we don't have any other destroyers and they have two of them. Like, we can deal with a CV, and, I mean, even if we couldn't, the Kagero probably won't kill the CV anyway. At low tiers, a destroyer hunting carriers is fine, but at higher tiers it's just not worth it because they have a really hard time actually killing the carrier, so often it just happens that you don't get anything for it, you just lose a destroyer because, going for a carrier means that you're going behind enemy lines, and destroyer often just gets picked off because the destroyer will be permanently spotted. since, you know, planes. And those planes also mean that you're not going to be torpedoing the CV or anything. At least you shouldn't, realistically. Unless you get really, really close, but at this tier, you know, the carriers have insane secondaries, so those would simply kill you. So it seems the Kagura is going in now to try to, I don't know, YOLO the Midway or something. But I mean, the Midway has 67,000 HP. Let's see how it goes. Okay, okay. Kagura is still alive, surprisingly. I mean, I'm shooting this Tirpitz, but she's so far away, it really doesn't matter. I'm heading towards the B cap myself to try to back this other battleship up that's heading towards the B cap, because we do need a second capstan since we are behind in points. I mean, these shots are nice and all because they're nice to look at, but they don't really do anything. Because we really should have killed this Tirpitz a long time ago already, but look at that, that's 1 over pen. 1. So yeah, okay. We should be able to pick this Tirpitz up because she has been on that goddamn map edge for so long already. Although I think our Izumo, I think, is going to get very intimate with some torpedoes. I guess that's what our Izumo is into these days. Finally! Actually very surprising. 4 shellheads, and by the way, our Kagura died and the enemy Midway, surprise surprise, is not dead. And we lost another ship. This is pretty bad. But yeah, I do hope that the Kagura now understands that you don't try to kill the carrier as a destroyer. At least not at tier 10, it just doesn't make sense to try that. Like, maybe if you're like Kebab or something, then yeah, sure, just chill away and, I mean, it's not like it'll be any different. Oh, actually, that's very surprising that Kagura actually got the Midway to 7,000 HP. Unfortunately, we don't have anything to finish the Midway off. I mean, this is the problem. The Kagura says, but it worked. But it didn't work. The Midway is still alive with 7,000 HP and we don't have anything that can kill her. I could shoot here. Well, I could have for a moment, maybe. I don't think I would have aimed in time though, and you know, she isn't spotted anymore. And we can't really take a shot anymore. And even if I take a shot at this kind of range, I probably won't hit, at least not for any significant amount of damage. You saw how many shots we needed to kill that Tirpitz. And the Tirpitz was actually a bit closer. But yeah, I mean, the thing is that if you damage a carrier, it's not worth it usually because, well, a carrier can operate fine even if she's low HP. The only thing is that maybe your carrier can go and pick the enemy carrier off, but ours doesn't seem to be intent on doing that. Like, even right now, if the carrier went and spotted the enemy carrier, we could probably finish her off, but, well, she's not gonna do that. So, the enemy Yamato is over there, and, showing broadside, although I think I'm showing broadside too, so this might not actually be a good thing to say. I did deal 14,000 damage, but no citadels that I was expecting. And unfortunately, because I sail too far ahead, well, I'm spotted and I'm not really contributing to the capping of the base. So here is when I tell that if our carrier spots the Midway, that we might be able to take her out, and here's hoping to, well, like Hakuryu on our team spotting the enemy Midway, because we kind of need it. We are behind in points and, well, we don't really have the capstones either, although we should probably get it in a moment. So I'm gonna focus on this North Carolina because she's probably much easier to kill than, well, the other things. And while doing so, I'm gonna start heading towards the A-cap, also 20,000 damage from the front. And the Citadel. But anyways, I'm gonna head towards the A-cap, although I don't really want to go full speed, because if I go straight into the A-cap from here, if the Northcal is alive, she can try to citadel me, and that might hurt. And I think that in this current match we want to, or I want to take as little damage as possible so that I can have enough HP to deal with whatever I have to deal with at the end of the match. So I have my back gun turned towards the left side, like I'm intentionally keeping it this way so that once I go around the island and I can fight the enemy Yamato again, my back guns are turned on point so that I can fire at her. But at this point I'm getting way too close to this island, so I'm just gonna risk it and show broadside to this Northcal. I just really hope that we finish her off before, you know, she kills me or deals significant amounts of damage. Or alternatively, I'm just relying on my armor. And, okay, I guess this is another reason to show broadside to the Northcal, because showing broadside to a Yamato is much scarier than, well, a Northcal. Hopefully the secondaries will pick her off, or the Tirpitz or something, but I do hope that the Northcal dies very soon. Luckily, angling properly against the Yamato puts me in a position to head right into the A-cap, and I'm actually a bit fortunate that the carrier doesn't appear to be going for me either. I really do think that the carrier should be going for me, because I'm the one that's threatening the cap zone. But I guess I do have a really high amount of HP still left, so maybe he wants to get a kill. Wow, our Tirpitz is already dead! That's very surprising. I figured that the Tirpitz would survive for way longer. I don't think I can cap here though, because of the Yamato secondaries, but well, I am going to keep contesting it so that they don't gain any more points for it. Unfortunately, one of their DDs is still capping C. By the way, both of the enemy DDs are still alive. So the enemy DDs definitely outplayed ours. The enemy Yamato is actually pretty nicely positioned. Look at that, look at that! I only did 1 overpen worth of damage at 9 kilometers. Even though it showed 2 penetrations, but I think some of those were into the turret or something like that. Anyways, I guess I should stop soon, because I'm gonna run out of the cap zone, although maybe it's actually worth it to try to run out of the cap zone and just have somebody behind me try to cap it, because I can't cap it anyway due to the secondaries of the enemy Yamato. Like right now, the reason why I'm thinking of going full speed is because, not really because I really want to get closer to the Yamato. Maybe I'll spot the enemy carrier. That would be very useful, because I am asking my carrier to spot the enemy CV, but she isn't doing it. Also, 3 citadels. This is what you get for showing broadside at such close range. But yeah, if our CV went and spotted the enemy carrier, we probably would be able to kill her. But apparently she's not interested. We kinda do need it, because we only have one of the 2 cap zones, although we should be getting A soon. Okay, so this finished off the enemy Yamato. Now to turn around my ship and go into A, and I guess we'll be fighting that Amagi next. I feel that I should be easily able to take this Amagi, although the threatening part is that the CV might come for me, and, you know, that might hurt. At least in combination with the Amagi. But yeah, I'm getting a bit annoyed that our carrier is still not spotting the enemy CV, because all he needs to do is take 1 plane and just spot her, and then we will just shoot her down, and that would be it. Because right now, getting rid of the enemy CV would be vital. Like, if we did that, I think we would definitely win the game. But it appears that, well, we're not gonna get such opportunities. So the fight is against this Amagi. I really wish the Amagi kept shooting me, because as you saw with that last salvo, especially if I angle now as well, the Amagi probably isn't going to fare very well against me. Like, my damage is insane on her, but her damage is very little on me. And by the way, look at the minimap. Pay attention to our carrier right now and what's happening. And we lost our last capstone as well. So rest in peace, our carrier. Or as they say in Path of Exile, rip in peace. Okay, so this should clear up the Amagi. Once the Amagi dies, I'm gonna switch to HE if I haven't fired my guns, because there's only a Tashkent and the enemy midway left. So switching to HE, because the next shot should be on the DD. I'm gonna be able to cap this A zone with North Cal. I tell the North Cal to stay behind me so that I go first, so that maybe that if the Tashkent tries torpedoing, those torpedoes are on me, because I have 55% TDS or something higher maybe even, and I still have 67,000 HP, so killing me would be rather difficult, and I really want to keep as many points as we can. Also, like I mentioned, if you paid attention to the minimap, you would have noticed that the enemy carrier just killed our carrier. But luckily, our carrier did a decent action at the end and sent planes out, and those planes spotted the enemy midway, so we have a chance now. So I'm definitely gonna try to take a shot. I really wish I had AP loaded here though, because HE might not be enough against the midway, especially if not enough shells hit. By the way, I'm gonna say this about the aim. This is not enough lead. I should have led a little bit more, and that salvo would have been better. But this is of course in hindsight, which is 2020 of course. And unfortunately, the game only made me hit one shell. But luckily, we had this awesome North Carolina on our team who finished midway off. And this should give us the victory in this match, because we got the C-cap by a battleship of course, and we also got the A-cap, and they only have a Tashkent left, and we are ahead by 60 points, and there's only like 50 seconds left in the game. If the CV had not gone and spotted that midway, I think we would have been in a lot of trouble, because, well, right now I think we would be losing the game. So I'm gonna be able to take a shot on this Tashkent. I say some words to maybe make the Tashkent turn around so that I can kill her, but we pretty much have won this game. I can't imagine the Tashkent being able to kill me. Maybe the other battleship, I don't know how much HP she has. But I might be able to finish the Tashkent off, especially since the North Cal should get a salvo off on her as well. And I should still get another one. So, 2600 HP, the timer's ticking, double clicking as fast as possible so that they immediately fire. 2 seconds, 1, 0, and the Tashkent actually died. Very good salvo at the end. We killed all the enemies, of course, so naturally we won the game. Although I believe that was at second 0. And I did 208,000 damage. 2500 base experience. I compliment the North Cal for playing well, and I compliment the Hakuryu for going and spotting. Maybe I should compliment the other North Carolina as well, but I don't know whether he played well or not. I just know that he survived at the end. But the enemy Tashkent really played well. He got 1700 base experience, so about as much experience as I did. Actually no, he got more. If they had won the game, the Tashkent would have got more experience than I did. Then again, he is a destroyer. I did keep 3 bases as a Yamato. Not something you see every day. So anyways, I would like to thank the Patreons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support, Akatakan, and I hope I see you guys next time.